Hi, I'm Ksenia Turkova. Let's talk about Dmitry Medvedev. Yes, that guy that was a Russian president between Putin and Putin. Now he's the deputy secretary of the Security Council of Russia. And I would say that now he's probably the main specialist in cursing and calling people names in the Russian political establishment. For example, last week he was calling for the physical elimination of the Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky. And on Friday gave a hysterical and aggressive response to Zelensky's interview that he gave to BBC. Zelensky said that he was convinced that those in the Kremlin would end badly and would not die by their own death. In response to the president's prediction, Medvedev began cursing and wished Zelensky to take his own life. The vocabulary Medvedev has been using after the war against Ukraine started lies far beyond the diplomatic and political language. He started using the words and phrases that can be used, by a drunk, aggressive Putin supporter on the street. It's a language of a backstreet mixed with the worst examples of Soviet propaganda language. Bastard authorities in Warsaw, European imbeciles, scumbags. These words are normal for him when he's talking about the international politics, about leaders of different countries. To be honest, most of the words are not even translatable. They are close to obscenities, very insulting, not politically correct at all, discriminating. In other words, here in the United States, you could sue a person who uses the words that Medvedev uses against certain people and certain groups of people on a daily basis. However, he's obviously enjoying it, and it even became his trademark, if you will. His Telegram channel is very popular. It has more than 1 million subscribers. As a linguist who studies political speech and the speech portraits of the politicians in particular, I would say that I've never seen such a drastic change in the linguistic portrait of a person. He even got a nickname, Evil Plush, because he used to be plush and became evil. When he became a president, a technocrat with an iPhone, his favorite word was modernization. Dmitry Medvedev was fond of Deep Purple, he took selfies, he mastered Twitter, he played badminton, and was popularly nicknamed iPhone-chick, a cute iPhone. Although later, after the mass protests of 2011-2012, he was nicknamed Pitiful, as a person who was totally dependent on Putin and was used by him. There was an anecdote. After winning the elections, Medvedev comes home and says to his wife, "Honey, tonight you are going to sleep with the president." And she says, "Well, I hope Luda," Putin's wife, "is not against it." Anyway, Medvedev was famous for his unpretentious yet progressive statements like freedom is better than non-freedom, a very deep thought. And even the famous meme cast in granite seemed very cute. Now Medvedev casts something else. As someone on Twitter joked, Medvedev in his new image of the radical trash talker is pure classmate who was always the quiet one, and then on summer vacation he accidentally slept with someone in the countryside and came back as a bad guy. So what happened to Dmitry Medvedev? Let's try to understand. Bloggers, journalists, and political analysts make various assumptions. Some are down to earth. Medvedev is drinking. But of course, there is no hard evidence to back this up. There is a joke that Medvedev could kill Finland in 2 hours, meaning the name of vodka, not a country, as Medvedev himself would probably like to. Oh, maybe there was some sort of family issue that caused his emotional instability. There were some rumors that his wife left him, but not more than rumors again, so we don't know that for sure. Ivan Yakovina, a very popular Ukrainian journalist and blogger, thinks that Medvedev's angry remarks are a bad sign. Medvedev's emotional outburst shows that the situation in Russia is very difficult, says Yakovina. You could say it's hopeless. According to Yakovina, Medvedev may be broadcasting the sentiments of Putin, who is ready to wage war to the bitter end with no regard for anything. But the most popular theory, including in the West, is that Medvedev wants to stake out his place in the new Russia. Some media outlets call him a lackey or at best a crony. In an interview with Foreign Policy magazine, Mark Galeotti, a political analyst and expert on Eastern Europe, says that the Russian elites and even those who are already under Putin's wing are worried now. Medvedev is considered one of the most vulnerable figures in Russian politics. And he's trying to do so by making statements to the effect that in 2 years' time, there may be no Ukraine on the world map. You remember he said that. Political analyst Tatiana Stanovaya agrees with Galeotti. According to her, Medvedev is trying to adapt to the new political climate. He wants to show that he is part of this new Russia. In turn, presidential spokesman Dmitry Peskov said that Medvedev's harsh emotional assessments of the foreign policy situation are understandable. The times are such that there are enemies all around, says Peskov. It's precisely the expression of a personal attitude to those hostile manifestations against our country that we face, Peskov said. Medvedev himself says that he became that harsh because they want Russia to die and he wants them to disappear. Who are they? Most likely he is talking about the Western countries. Russia's main narrative now is that the country is fighting against NATO, who wants to destroy Russia. Medvedev's rhetoric plays an important role now. He is representing so-called turbo-patriots, and at the same time, Putin looks more civilized next to him. I'm Ksenia Trukova. Please subscribe to my channel and support me with your likes.